So, still eating the bagel. A few people have been asking me what I think about the new season of Korra, the 3 episodes that had premiered, probably because it got leaked because Nickelodeon doesn't know how to actually take care of this franchise because it never did. What I think of it. So I watched Korra last season, even though I didn't do any reviews of it because I really did not care that much about it to do it. And it's like, I feel like now, like, even I'm gonna do a Game of Thrones review soon, and I'm probably gonna still be doing them. I'm only gonna do it in clumps because I feel like if I'm probably just complain and not be really excited about it, why should you have to listen to that? Like, unless it's funny. Like, it's just me talking about Game of Thrones and y'all already know what's going on. Like, that's a waste of your time and my time. But with Korra, I don't mind doing it as like episodes in a chunk. So these first 3 episodes, my overall thought of it is like, yeah, it looks good now, but let's see what happens later. Because that's what always happens. Like, so far, they have yet to take a good villain and have him stick and be good for the entire time. Because as, like, Zhao might have been my favorite, but he was good villain, intimidating good the entire time. The only flop of the whole bunch was Combustion Man, in my opinion. His death was kind of subpar, but Azula great. Ozai was great because they actually built him up, and he still managed to be psychologically intimidating later on, if only for how he fucks with Zuko's mind, if anything else. And it's Mark Hamill, so really it was going to be great no matter what. Amon started off really great. Shitty ending. I almost said Noah Talk like they were 2 different people. Whoever, like Korra's uncle, don't even remember his name because he was that irrelevant to my life. Him and the spirit guy, waste of time. So this, this Fantastic Four group over here, we'll see how they turn out. So far they look cool. I like the woman who's a waterbender. I like her octopus arms. Those could come in handy. Lady Combustion Man, that'll be fun. But like, I can't make an investment yet because as cool as things look in the beginning, they have been turning out bad midway. Like, it'll be bad and like, it'd be good and kind of interesting, and so I don't really want to get too much into it. Say like, yeah, it looks like it's very awesome this season, because it could not be. We saw Zuko, which was exciting. I'm looking for my old Zutara hookup. Yeah. Not really, but I like for them to meet. They're both alive, Jesus. I swear they do that to just fuck with us. Like, they're like, oh, Zutara's not gonna happen, but they'll both be alive. I mean, the only one's alive from that whole group of people. Just like, god damn it. Seeing him was cool. His voice is weird to me, but I guess it's just because, having a top Dante Basco's luxurious tones. The only thing that's of serious interest to me right now is the airbending stuff. So for those of you who did not watch last season, the big thing was harmonic convergence, and it basically reopened the gate between the spirit and the human world. So now there's no bridge, they're just there. And people of Republic City are kind of like, girl, we didn't ask for these vines and shit. And Korra's like, well, I don't know how to fix it, so you're gonna have to just fucking deal with these vines and shit. And they're like, you suck. And she's like, well, you suck too. So, maturity, big thing. But at the same time, she is trying, and she's doing her best, so I can't shade her too much, because it's not like she did it on purpose. She did save the world, so we should be more grateful. And because of harmonic convergence, suddenly there are airbenders, because nature is now correcting the mistake that the Fire Nation made, if it can be called a mistake, but that's what they're doing. I'm sorry, I'm eating my bagel, I'm really hungry. And so now all these people who weren't benders before are now air nomads. Well, airbenders, because air nomads is a culture, not a bending ability. And Tenzin and the group are trying to rebuild the air nomads. So going around to find people in the Earth Kingdom who are now airbenders. But they don't want to become air nomads because being an air nomad is not very consistent with the lifestyle these people lead. Like, they have families, they have, like, worldly goods, and they don't want to really give them up for something that they know nothing about. Which is fair. Like, I mean, like, Tenzin's like, you come stay with us. Like, he has his family, he has his children, and you want to be like, take him away. Like, guys, you don't have any more foresight than this? Like, I guess my whole problem with, like, part of the storyline is that the air nomads can't just be replaced by airbenders. It's not the same thing. To be an air nomad is a culture. It's a culture that has been exterminated mostly. And I think that that's the thing that my pros and cons about this whole new airbender thing is from a story point of view, and from just from the characters, like in universe, it makes me happy because I think about Aang and I think about the suffering that he went through in the series, realizing he was the only one left of his kind, and having to deal with that sort of pressure his entire life to carry on the tradition, the culture, the kind of like, and the respectability of the people as a group, and to have to put that onto his children, because we find out in season 2 when we see Kaya and Bumi and Tenzin all together that he sort of neglected Bumi and Kaya because they weren't airbenders and Tenzin was, and he had to really push Tenzin to become, you know, the next last airbender. And then Tenzin and his relationships, feeling that pressure, knew that the day his dad died, he was going to be the last airbender, and if he didn't have children, then he would be like, he has to have children because he has to keep the line moving. So it's like he couldn't be with, I think one of the reasons he said that he and Lin didn't work out because Lin didn't really want to have kids. And so he has to be with someone who wants to have children. His entire life is based on the fact that he has to carry on this race. And that's so much pressure. And for his future family, and you know, what if they have non-bending children, like they're pressured to constantly be the one to have a child so that the air nomads can exist in some way. Airbender specifically is painful, and I think it's terrible, and I'm so happy that they don't have to deal with that burden anymore. And when Tenzin said to the annoying child, I wish your grandfather was here to see this, in my heart, like as corny as it was, I was like, I wish I was here to see this too. I was picturing him being like Mufasa in the clouds, just smiling down like, airbenders, like, you know, like I feel good about it because I feel good for Aang, because I love Aang. However, outside of that, thinking about it as a spectator, what I don't like about it is the fact that I feel, since reading The Promise, because I didn't read the search yet, but I've read The Promise, is that the consequences for what the Fire Nation has done has been very brushed aside. When the Earth Queen, who I can tell we're supposed to hate, because the whole Airbender army is shitty, but her talking about like the Republic City is Earth Kingdom territory. When she said that, I know it's supposed to be like ominous, like, this bitch crazy, but to me I was like, shit, I know. Like, I've said it before, like, Republic City should not have been made as like a concession piece to the people who colonized the Earth Kingdom because of this war. Like, it should not have been done, in my opinion. And we never really saw what kind of restitution the Fire Nation was supposed to be giving to these other nations that like they committed genocide, and that cannot be undone. And for it to be undone when we still haven't seen them having to suffer anything seriously besides just losing the war is upsetting to me, because they just, it's always hard to say that, like, they deserve it, but that's the way it should be. They should not be able to now have this tragedy be now kind of almost undone because the spirit world is open. Like, that doesn't take it away, in my opinion. And I'm trying to say that, like, now having these new airbenders erases the pain of what happened, because it doesn't. But at the same time, Zuko has a fucking statue, and it's like, yes, he helped save the world, but he also helped participate in what was going on. And I think that we have yet to really see the repercussions for the Fire Nation of what they've done. And we see the Earth Kingdom is still suffering, rightfully so. So why should we be so excited to hate someone who's right? Their land was taken from them because the people who colonized the land did not want to accept that they lost the war and leave. When the people who they kicked out in the first place came back. That ain't right. And they want to bring up all kinds of real world stuff. Like, this is not the real world. This is the world of Avatar. Okay, this wasn't like, this is not the Axis power. This is not Treaty of Versailles, where it was like 12 other people did something and then only Germany gets slammed with it. No, Fire Nation did it. They tried to exterminate every other race and did commit genocide to the air nomads. So I don't see why they should, like, why their people should be somehow preferenced when we're lauding out who gets what. And yes, it's not Fire Nation, but yet they obviously have power there because Zuko has a statue. So, as happy as I am in universe to see the airbending group be restored, I do want to see what the Fire Nation has had to suffer with after committing genocide in the first place, because it doesn't seem like they had to do anything, and that's very annoying. And one thing I loved about Avatar is how they managed to talk about real world things in a way that was comprehensive towards younger people. And I think that the Air Nomads genocide was important because it taught you that these kind of things can't be undone, that these things can't be fixed, that when you lose something like something has been disrupted, and while, you know, balance can be restored in its own way, it will be hard, and it's a challenge. And I think while they show challenges, I think that somehow I just feel like something has been lost in that message by just having them be reestablished. But we will see how the show handles it. Hopefully they can do it well, and hopefully they can continue the Korra girl friendship, because I'm here for that, because I love Asami and Korra grew on me last season, and I definitely think that their friendship could be a positive thing for the show, especially because I don't think Mako's worth fighting over anyway.